Let's get right to Gianna with more on a major street shut down right now in San Jose. Gianna.
Yeah, police are on scene investigating this serious accident that happened just before 2 this morning. This is San Jose, and you're looking at video we got into the newsroom earlier this morning. A lot of fire crews were on scene helping this person, this vehicle. The vehicle hit a tree and then caught fire, and then they had to help that person get out of the car. This is EB Capitol Expressway right at 7 Trees Boulevard and Center. Now, eastbound lanes are completely shut down until further notice. Traffic will be impacted in that area. Again, one person was transported to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. That investigation continues in San Jose, so try to avoid EB Capitol Expressway and use alternates instead of that area. And I want to jump over to our maps right now and show you 880 here. If you are taking 880 this morning, the Nimitz Freeway, we've got major delays as well. An earlier big rig crash in the clearing stages, but traffic still very slow through Oakland. Yeah, thanks, Ann. In San Jose, EB Capitol Expressway right at Center Road is completely shut down. Again, this is due to a crash that happened early morning, overnight, just before 2 this morning. I want to show you some video we've got earlier this morning of the incident. Fire crews were on scene there. That vehicle hit a tree. It then was engulfed in flames, and they did have to extract a person from that vehicle who was later transported to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. In the meantime, that area is still shut down for the investigation. I'll show you on our maps here. Eastbound Capitol Expressway from 7 Trees Boulevard to Center Road remains closed until further notice. So expect some delays in and around that area. As far as alternates go, you can always use Tully Road as an alternate or stick with 101, depending on where your commute takes you this morning. So again, we've got that incident there, and that's going to take some time to clear completely out of lanes on eastbound Capitol Expressway. Busy ride on the Nimitz Freeway. Look at all this red on our sensor. South 880 is going to struggle this morning. The big rig crash we had near Embarcadero has now been cleared out of lanes, but the damage is done. It is a slow ride there. 580 looking a lot better if you want to use that instead of 880. We're seeing some nice speeds on 580 through Oakland. That might be your best bet until things get back to normal on the Nimitz Freeway. And there is a closure on the East Shore Freeway due to a small fire burning on the right shoulder. The Gilman off-ramp from eastbound 80 is closed as fire crews work on that. As far as the freeway goes, the main lines of the 80 are actually moving at the limit for the most part. 580 westbound Altamont Pass commute is in full swing. We've got delays out at Tracy. Working your way over towards that North Flynn exit. It's a slow ride. Gets a lot better once you hit towards the Dublin interchange. But your drive time's now 39 minutes, so we are in the yellow zone. 205 over towards 680. The rest of our major freeways, though, are checking in problem-free.
And a busy Bay Area roadway still closed off after an overnight crash. We have lots to talk about this morning. It's Thursday, September 3rd. I'm Ann Makovic in for Michelle.
And Ellen Keys, good morning. Let's send it right over to Gianna with your go-around in San Jose because of this bad crash.
Yeah, it's a tough one right now in San Jose. The investigation and cleanup of an earlier crash continues. This is on Capitol Expressway. Eastbound lanes remain closed from 7 Trees to Center Road. Now, the incident happened just before 2 this morning. A car veered off the road, hit a tree, then caught fire. The fire is out, however. Fire crews did have to pull a passenger out of the vehicle. That person was transported to a hospital with life-threatening injuries. As far as the impact to traffic goes, you're going to see some delays in and around that area. Eastbound Capitol Expressway remains shut down until further notice. No word yet as to when those lanes will reopen. You can use Tully or even 101 as alternates depending on where your commute takes you. I'll have a look at the Bay Bridge coming up in my next report. It is very busy out there. I want to start off with a live look at the Bay Bridge Toll Plaza. If you're getting ready to head out the door and you typically your commute takes you from the East Bay into the city, it's going to be a busy one now. You can see all those brake lights there as you work your way towards that Toll Plaza exit up the incline. Looks a little better across the upper deck into the city, but backed up beyond that 880 overpass. Also, 101 northbound has been a bit of a struggle this morning near Hillsdale Boulevard. An overturned vehicle is what's causing this backup here. It's in the left lane and left shoulder. Those are still blocked. In fact, that vehicle ended up landing on the center divide there. So Caltrans crews have been called out as well. There's a lot of debris in the roadway. Use 280 as an alternate. 280 looking a lot better as you travel along the peninsula. And a road closure continues in the South Bay Capitol Expressway. Eastbound lanes are still shut down between 7 Trees Boulevard to Center Road. This is due to an earlier crash. In fact, it happened just before 2 this morning, so this has been out there for quite some time. That vehicle hit a tree, then caught fire. There's still a lot of cleanup and activity there in that area. And looks like westbound Highway 4 starting to load up as well. We're seeing some red on our sensors, which indicates some slower speeds near Bay Point as you work your way towards Willow Pass. That's where CHP is working on a crash in that area. Looks like at least that number 2 lane from the left is blocked. So a slow ride along Highway 4 as you head through there. And of course, you've got those brake lights, the usual stuff into the Altamont Pass. A 40-minute drive time now, westbound 580 to go from 205 over towards 680. Getting on to 680, a little sluggish through that Dublin interchange.
And an overnight crash still affecting the morning commute right now in the South Bay. Gianna has your go-around. Good morning. It is Thursday, September 3rd. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ann Makovic in for Michelle.
And Ellen Keys, good morning. Traffic is first with Gianna. You're staying on top of that traffic alert in San Jose.
I sure am, and this has been out there for several hours. The investigation and cleanup continues. This crash happened earlier this morning on Capitol Expressway in San Jose, where eastbound lanes are still shut down between 7 Trees to Center Road. A car veered off the road, hit a tree. It then caught fire. The fire is out. However, fire crews had to actually pull a passenger out of the vehicle. That person was then taken to a hospital with life-threatening injuries. As far as the impact to traffic, nowhere yet from San Jose Police about when lanes will reopen. You can expect delays, though, as we look at our maps here on Capitol Expressway. In the meantime, you can use Tully or even 101 depending on where your commute takes you, but there are delays in and around that area. All right, I sure will. Let's start off with the Bay Bridge Toll Plaza. It's still pretty busy out there this morning. The metering lights were turned on just before 6, and you've got a sluggish ride as you work your way out of the East Bay into San Francisco. The bulk of those delays just beyond that 880 overpass. So traffic slow there, a little busy coming off the upper deck just as you head into the San Francisco area, just off that Skyway portion. All right, we do have a crash westbound 4 near Willow Pass Road. It's blocking at least that number 2 lane. And as you look at our maps, look at all that red there. Speeds dipping down to about 11 miles per hour. A very slow ride because of this accident for your commute out of Pittsburgh into Bay Point. Traffic is definitely slow in that area. It gets a little better as you make that connector over towards 242. And traffic loaded up for that ride into the Altamont Pass. It starts in the Tracy area right at Mountain House. It extends beyond North Flynn. In fact, we're starting to see some delays as you work your way into that Livermore Valley area with your drive times now right around 40 minutes to go from 205 over towards 680. And because of that crash along Highway 4, your drive time to go from Antioch over towards Hercules is about 43 minutes right now. Once you get on the East Shore Freeway, though, good news there, only 17 minutes to go from Highway 4 to the MacArthur Maze. All right, let's go to the South Bay right now. There is still a closure in effect for an ongoing investigation into an accident that happened earlier this morning. Capitol Expressway eastbound lanes from 7 Trees Boulevard to Center Road remains completely shut down in that area. Use alternates. Tully Road might work, 101 also to get in and around that area. But again, avoid that if you can. That closure's been out there for quite some time. Welcome back. It is 6:55. I'm Gianna Franco. Let's get you updated on a trouble spot in the South Bay. Eastbound Capitol Expressway remains closed from 7 Trees to Center Road as the investigation and cleanup continues of an earlier crash. It's actually been out there for several hours. It happened just before 2 this morning. A car hit a tree, then caught fire. The fire is out. However, fire crews did have to pull a passenger from the vehicle who was transported later to a hospital. Now, as of right now, no word yet from San Jose Police about when lanes will be reopening. But in the meantime, expect delays, use alternates, try Tully or even 101 instead.